the country is very split between political parties. So there is a natural assumption that if the current president puts somebody in, that the chair could be sympathetic to the requests of the sitting president.
Sure.
Okay. I can't predict whether or not he will be sympathetic to the requests. I'm just saying if he doesn't want to be sympathetic to the requests, he doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
And here's how I know that. Because Powell is still in the chair, right? And so I think if he gets, when he becomes the Fed chair and there is some sort of arm twisting that goes on, he has all the power in the world to say no.
Yeah.
If he wants to. Now, I'm not predicting that he wants to or doesn't want to. I'm just saying if he doesn't. So people who are worried about the objectivity, my response is, rather than us guess about his objectivity, let's grade him on his performance.
Yeah.
Let's give the guy a chance, just like we did Powell, right? So let's see what happens and grade him on his stewardship of the Federal Reserve, and not try to pre-guess which way he's going to, which way his sail is going to shift based on the political wins, because I think if he wants to resist some blustering from the White House, he has all the authority in the world to ignore it and not do what the president wants.
And he doesn't get to make the decision alone.
That's right.
A lot of people, I think that the Fed chair just like slams the gavel and I run everything. No,
Yeah.
it's a 12-person voting committee.
Mm-hmm.
And the goal of the Fed chair is usually to build a unanimous decision. They normally want that. They want all 12 people to say, yep, we all agreed to this. We all want to do this. Well, guess who's one of these 12 people is going to be? I think this is the most interesting. Powell might be ending his term as chair. He's a Fed governor for another couple of years.
Right.
He is not stepping down right away. And the reason there is because a lot of the new Fed building renovation that you may have been heard about in the news, that's over budget, and Trump tried to use that and his team tried to use that as a way to kind of put pressure on Powell. A lot of that's been thrown out, but I think Powell really does value, again, to the independence and the objectivity of the Fed. He just wants to make sure that that is totally off the table. And he's a lawyer. He went to Georgetown Law School, so he understands the legal system. So he's going to stay on until he has, I think, good confidence that the Fed is going to stop being attacked maybe so aggressively, and him personally too.
Yeah.
So he's going to stay on. So that means now new Fed Chair Warsh is going to have to also build a consensus with a lot of people that are already in the building.
Right. And I also think that people get worried about like lowering interest rates is going to increase inflation. And I think that there is a connection there, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad connection because so much of inflation is driven by oil prices, and oil prices really aren't subject to interest rates, right? It's subject to this whole other thing going on in the Straits of Hormuz. So I will come back and say people have very short memories about gas prices because right now the average price for a gallon of gas in the country, in the U.S., is a little bit less than $5 a gallon. Okay, so whatever it is, it's not $5. I know that.
No,
right?
but it's moved up a lot. 50%.
It is moved up a ton, and I'm not minimizing that, and I'm not casting that aside. I'm just saying that gas prices were $5.50 a gallon in 2022. We've been here before.
Yeah.
And we're okay now, and we'll be okay in the future. And everybody getting all, I do think that there is some short-term pain, and I'm not trying to parrot an administrative talking point here, but I do believe it's true, which is why I'm going to say it, that when the volatility is erased out of the Straits of Hormuz, time uncertain, I get that, oil prices are going to come back down. We talked about this in a previous episode. I actually think they could come down a lot because you've just got such a glut now. You just see the way to go. But we've been here before with the $5 thing. I don't think interest rates are what keep them there. I think if interest rates come down, it drives so much more of the economy, especially housing, purchasing, and cars, which I say over and over again. Housing and cars drive so much of the economy. And if we make, the interest rates a little bit more affordable for people buying houses, I think that's going to be good for the economy. And there's so much that comes off of that.